For everyone who lives in the United States, there are more than just the 4 seasons of the year, more than just the rotations around the earth. We have different seasons which bring out different parts in people. We have the 4th of July, which brings out the loud noises, the mosquito repellent, the shooting through houses, and turning your entire neighborhood into a war zone, and the PTSD instigator. We have Thanksgiving, where everybody sits around and pretends like they're happy and says what they're thankful for, but nobody can truly be honest, because there's no actual way I'm gonna sit down at Thanksgiving and they're gonna be like, yo, Rodney, what are you grateful for? Yo, I'm grateful for my bodacious, big booty, curvy girlfriend. That's what I'm grateful for. Yeah. We have the Christmas season, which goes into the New Year's, which is kind of like one whole thing. It's that time where everyone pretends like they like each other, where you can walk back and forth and be like, hey, Tim, happy Christmas. Yeah, happy Christmas. Hey, happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hey, Tim, hey, go deep anally fist fuck yourself until you bleed out of your rectum. Sports seasons are a thing, too. We have football season, which, if you know anything about football season, that is when friendships can end in America. This is when we look at professional athletes who could 100% kill us by just bear hugging us and say, we could do a better job than they do because we don't like that they didn't take the dead pig in their hands and run it 7 feet forward fast enough in order to get a new try. It's an interesting topic. But once every 4 years, the real season comes up that divides this entire country. The presidential election season. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where brain cells, emotions, friendships, and common sense have gone to die. In fact, they don't even go to die. They're already dead. You just have to bury them. To really put into perspective what the presidential election actually is every 4 years, the American people have a popularity contest where their votes count in order for other people to take their votes to put it in to decide which old, cranky, manipulative, corrupt person they like better and would like to semi-half run their lives for the next 4 years. And for these candidates, they are part of these things called parties, which are just genuinely insane. It essentially is a gang war. We got the Reds and the Blues, except instead of picking something cool, like cool names and stuff, they're called the Republicans and the Democrats, which is like, all right, that's fine, that's left and right. And I'm like, why do directions have anything to do with this? I'm not at a fucking traffic stop. I don't need to know at the stoplight which way I'm going. It's just a weird choice to make. And is it like something because it's like we like left-handed people, or like if you're ambidextrous, what's that? Is that being a centrist? Because I haven't let these motherfuckers pick cool animals either. Their animals are a donkey and an elephant. Like literally, they picked a jackass and a bull with a trunk. And so many people have affiliated themselves entirely with just one party. Like that is their team. People treat election season like it's some sort of sporting event. You see people wearing the hats and the shirts and the signs in their yard. And if other people see other people with it, they get angry really easily. They like Hulk out. Like there are insane crash outs because some motherfucker had a name which is just a combination of letters for a party in their yard, and people feel like we care about it. Like they always are be going up to you and be like, so what's your opinion in the election? Oh, well, you know, so-and-so needs to get elected because so-and-so is a blah, blah, blah. And that's another thing. It gets farther insane from that. The slander that you hear during these elections is some of the most crazy shit. Like, rather than just being civil about it and calmly talking, be like, hey, so-and-so did this and so-and-so was this, we go to the most extreme lengths ever. We pick the most insane things, and we not only get at each other over it, the candidates are just as bad. They put out the most violent, harsh ads about each other. Like, you'll be in the middle of trying to watch a YouTube video and just some ad will pop at the beginning that's like,
Ryan Perry is un-American. When asked if he liked McDonald's, he said, it's not my favorite. Ryan Perry has done abysmal things. He likes to start fights, destroy the economy, and diddle checkmarks. Tell him he's not the guy we want lying for our country.
And just like sports teams, there's all this stupid stuff where people are ranking it and talking about it all the time. And people care about who's winning and people are trying to predict the winner. Like, y'all, it ain't that special. Both of them are liars. They're both liars. Things ain't gonna look much better for us at this point. And people seem to forget we're voting for the safety of our nation. This isn't to pick the next quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. There's a lot of people that make elections and politics their entire personality, which, like, it's good to know. It's great to know how your system works. It's good to know what you're voting for, to do your research and know what you're talking about. But there are motherfuckers with entire podcasts dedicated to this shit. Like, I'm pretty sure they're missing out on everything else in life. And, like, some of these people are married, and like I can't even imagine being married to them. Like, could you imagine coming home and all your spouse talks about is politics and how so-and-so is the greatest thing since sliced bread, genocide, and boobs? This wouldn't all be that bad if people would admit that their parties and their candidates have done something wrong. Like, nobody's perfect, least of all politicians. But you talk to anyone who's on the left or the right, for Trump or for Harris, whatever's going on, and as far as they're concerned, any single critique you have of their candidate is wrong. They've never done anything wrong because everything they're doing is for America. Because they just think it's impossible and they make excuses for it. And the fact is, the only way your party can become the best it can is to point out the flaws so you know who's good and you can weed out the bad people, because neither party's perfect. No person is perfect. But people don't care. They basically worship these people. Like, I have seen people, like that video of the guy online, and he was in this car like,
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me.
and people talking about how this person's gonna save the United States, this person's gonna destroy it, and all this stuff. I remember both times when Obama was elected and Trump and Biden, the other party's people who voted against that candidate who won were talking about moving to Canada because they said the country would go into a dictatorship. And you know what's happened since then? Nothing. We are still the same as we've always been. We're fine. I mean, we're not fine. We're struggling, but it's not like we're this dictatorship. My editor is from Russia. I've heard stories about how horrible that country is from him. And for us as Americans to be so naive to think we're living in the worst country in the world, that's some privileged, out of touch shit. Another really big problem that we have is nobody we elect is young. And by young, I don't mean we need some 22-year-old running for president. We need like someone who's 45, seasoned but young enough that they're still there, or 50, something like that. But instead, everyone who runs is old. Like, genuinely has the possibility of death in their future as president. The Trump-Biden debate that they had last time was two old men arguing over golf and calling each other names, and both of these men are at the age where they literally had nothing to say about the country anymore because they both are so out of touch and so cognitively gone, nothing they say makes sense anymore. And speaking of debates aren't even debates anymore. Rather than going up to the other person and coming up with a policy and talking about and saying, well, here's where you're wrong, here's where I'm doing is right, and I see this, but you're doing this wrong, it's just a contest of who can lie more. It is a brutal beatdown. People just be calling each other names now and stuff. They be swearing, they be taking disses at each other's families. It's just people clapping back. Like, debates clap back more than a bunch of ass cheeks on the beach in a bikini. It's insane. There's nothing, absolutely nothing crazier than the debate now, because it doesn't even seem political or respectful. There's just no respect anymore. There's nothing cool about it. There's nothing intelligent about it. It's the equivalent of a WWE mic session, and I'm gonna be honest, if that's the way they want to do it, I think that'd be a great way for us to go about having presidential elections from now on. The presidential candidates should have to have wrestling matches. They come out on the mic, do some crowd work, they should have some themes, they can come out, RKO each other, body slam. Like, dude, suplexing your opponent in the presidential race would be the coolest, toughest shit ever. And the thing is, it doesn't even end after the election. After the election, people keep going on about it, and it never stops. And it's just a repeat cycle until the very next time that we have it happen. And it's just a genuinely infuriating, annoying thing. And another thing is, everyone who runs for presidents aren't just politicians. They're not people. They're not average dudes who could probably run it. The thing is, if you went through your town, you could probably find a bunch of motherfuckers who are better at being a president than the actual politicians that we have, but they're not looking for politicians or good presidents. They're looking for someone who's willing to, side with their group and become powerful. That's what everyone's after. I could qualify to run for governor in Wisconsin. Fuck, I'm considering doing it. I should do it. You know what? Next election cycle, I should put my name on the ballot, and then I could go on TikTok and YouTube and tell everyone what I stand for, and I can enjoy all 2 votes that I get when I do that. But that's what I'm saying. There's a chance for everyone, but nobody takes it because it's just so hard. It's been set up in a way where if you're not in those 2 parties, you're not getting in. It's kind of like a sorority. You can't come to the orgy and you ain't getting dick, ass, or pussy, or dap if you ain't with one of the 2 sorority groups there. But yeah, there's a lot that we need to work on when it comes to elections. We need to do some maturing as people, because it is pretty sad how this country actually has gone with all that. It is something that constantly happens every year, and it's gonna come around again shortly, because we got Senate elections and everything else, and there's just times you don't know what's even happening. So That's it, guys. That's all I've got to talk about for now. Thank you for listening to me rant. I appreciate it. This was therapeutic, and I will see you all next time.